Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host. He's back. Philly is back. How are you doing today, Phil?
Good. How are you? My hair keeps going up. Uh,
It's not too bad. Don't worry.
it's all good. It's all good. I'm doing great.
Great. Well, we missed you last week. We're here to talk about The Amazing Race Canada Season 8, Episode 7 and 8. We'll just kind of maybe do like a brief overview about what happened last week. It was a double elimination. How did you feel about the double elimination in the end?
Um, I'm okay with it. There was for where we're at, there was still too many teams with all the bringing people back and only really having one team be eliminated at that point. Um, I'm all for no more non-elimination legs.
I thought that that's what we were in for, but sadly
but
mistaken.
and now I will say seeing this leg, I definitely felt like maybe the teams knew that it was a non-elimination leg because there wasn't really as much as there was a little bit of drama. It didn't feel like they were direly rushing to get the tasks done. So it seemed more like a fun day of racing.
Yeah, it was just like an activity day, field trip.
Yeah.
So what even happened on this? So what did they have to do? Oh, they had to do the birdhouses. So basically they had like a bunch of model birdhouses that they had to they had a picture of the birdhouses. They had to go find the models of the birdhouses and put them in order or something like that. How did it go?
Yeah, they had to they on a map they were given some of the birdhouses and then they had to locate. They had some that they had to find, and yeah, once they found the right labels for it, it was pretty easy.
How did you feel about getting to these birdhouses? They had to take a train from Toronto, I believe, and so
Yes.
they had to there was two train times. So one was 6:17 and one 6:32, and it seems like the 6:32 person that was walking around was close to the train station, and the 6:17 person was a little bit further away. And it seemed as though the later train people found the earlier next train or whatever it was more easily. What do you think about
Yeah. Because it was like, wasn't it like three teams,
that? Mm-hmm.
and the rest were Um, hey, I'm okay for all of that. I mean, we did already see this sort of thing with in Montreal when they had to find. I think it was in the first leg. They had to find two people with different things outside of a building. I think they had different times. Maybe they didn't have different times, but I mean, whatever. It wasn't overly interesting. I mean, I kind of wish there was more drama that came out of it, but there wasn't really. It seemed like the commercial, the recap of what was coming. I thought we were going to see more, and then it just
Ooh.
really was nothing. Yeah.
Nothing burger. So
Yeah.
the early trains end up working together when they get to. Are they going to Prince Edward County? Is that what's happening here?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you been to? Have I asked you this? Have you been to Prince Edward County?
Um, I've not stayed. Like I've always wanted to stay at a cottage there. I've never stayed at a cottage there. I've driven through it a number of times, and gone to some restaurants, but nothing overly. No
Um,
stays.
I have been, and one time I went for my friend's bachelorette weekend, and so we did
Ooh.
all of the wineries, and then we stayed in this big house, and like it was pretty fabs. And so I actually a restaurant that I used to work at about 5 years ago, the Chef Stuart Cameron, he opened up another Spanish tapas restaurant in the county, and my friend
Ooh.
is the manager there, and so I'm actually trying to plan a trip to go to the county so we can go visit the restaurant because I worked at his Spanish tapas restaurant here in Toronto. Delicious. And so I want
Very
to see what he's
nice.
bringing into the county. So it's on my before winter adventure list. So Jesse and Marika were last, and they were fighting as usual. They have really big ups and downs. Like I think that they're a very strong team, but I do find that maybe she breaks down a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I think they're good. I mean, that's how they're siblings, right? That's their
Yeah,
relationship, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like I
She
kind of
must be
feel
the
like
younger sister, though, right?
yeah, I could I mean, think about going around the country with your sibling at this age, not when you were a kid. Like I mean, it's an interesting dynamic, I think. So 24/7 with your sibling could be
I mean, yeah, I'd be very irritated with him, my brother. But he definitely is like knows how to deal with me, I think. And so I
yeah.
don't I guess it's kind of like how Marika is. I'd be probably more of the Marika, and my brother would be more of the Jesse in the dynamic. So what do you think about this new twist, the pass? So it's times 2 that basically you can put somebody on the board, and when they get to the board, they have to wait for the next person that's behind them to pass them before they can continue on the race.
Yeah, so this is I guess a new uptake of the yield, sort of, where the yield was like you had to stop for 15 minutes or a certain amount of time. Sorry, I keep going in and out. This is really exciting. Woo!
It's
So yeah, so yield, but I don't know. I mean, at least it does create some sort of one team gets ahead of another team, which is great. I'm going to turn off my thing. I'm sorry. I can't do
all
this.
good.
Okay. Oh, now it was working fine. Okay. I got to hit that other button. Okay, whatever. All right. So, yeah, no, I think like that's the good part of it is it does force another team to get ahead of another team. I don't know. I found this episode I was reacting more to teams, and I kind of felt bad for Beverly and Veronica. I really, I think we talked a couple episodes ago about how we weren't really quite seeing what the other teams like. It just set like they seemed to be like angry at them because they kept asking for help and stuff. But I think that there's more to it, and I'm getting kind of like everybody's scared of them because they're come off as these like athletic competitors and that, but I also feel like there's a little bit of
jealousy.
Yeah, it just seems like, you know, how unfortunately I hate to say some girls
Some women this catty
don't like other women, and I kind of am getting that vibe that is what's going on because they keep going to Franca and Nella and they keep saying the same thing as like it's like a put down on them, and then it's like, well, they are great racers and everything, but and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like you just don't like them as girls. You just don't like them.
And to be fair, I was feeling the same way when I was like, fine, I get it. It's part of the game. Like you can YouTube or pass any team that you want,
Yeah.
but the way that they were doing it, I was just kind of like, well, they're not even like right beside you. Like they're not even like doing well this leg. And so you feel like you have to pass them. It just was like, it seemed a little bit catty and a little bit petty in a way that I didn't like. And so it actually made me like Bev and Veronica more than Franca and Nella at this point. So right now I'm rooting for Beverly and Veronica.
The main thing I'm rooting for them is I hope that they get to pay back the favor. I'm really excited to see that because I think that I think they'd be justified for it.
Absolutely.
Just not just because of that, but just because of the way I'm seeing that they're being treated through a lot of this race. And
so far I haven't seen it. Like maybe in the beginning they're a little bit like maybe bossy or like they're like just doing things on their own and not really asking for help and maybe not being super open and like come and work with, like maybe they weren't being super nice. But like, I do not think that it's warranted the reactions from what we've seen. Maybe there's something more going on that we don't, but who knows? Hi, Tokyo Traveler. So, hey, y'all, are you going to be covering Amazing Rave Australia? 20 teams is too many. I'm going to be doing it with Sarah from Nerdtainment. So, we will be doing it once a week. I
was so worried. I was so worried after our Amazing Race Australia last season, which was like, I'm still shocked that it even ended. It just kept going. But then I started watching this, and then I did no research about the Amazing Race Australia at all, and so I'm watching the first episode, and I'm like, oh, that was nice, and then it ends with the preview of it's like 10 new teams will stay race leg 2.
I haven't started watching it yet. Oh my god, it's 3 episodes a week, and we thought there was only 2. We're like, they're sneaky.
If they have non eliminations, that's ridiculous. Wow.
So I will be covering it with Sarah from Nerdtainment. I'm not sure what day we will do this week's recaps. We have to figure out. Like, I don't know if it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll figure it out. But we will be doing a recap sometime this week, maybe even tomorrow, the first 3 episodes, if it works out. So yes,
the first 2 are good. Did you watch the first 2?
No, I have not watched it yet.
No, they're good. I will say though, the team. I'm just gonna say this: the team that goes in the second one shouldn't have been there. That's all I'm gonna say. They shouldn't have even been racing. So.
Oh boy, shouldn't even have been racing. That's okay. All right. Well, Franca and Nella do put Beverly and Veronica on the board. And the detour is going to be press it or push it. So press it is a print message, like using an old printing press. And push it is it push it or plush it? I mean, it must be push it. But it's Savon du Bois, where they're going to have to make these bath bombs while their partner's sitting in the bath, giving them the recipe.
Oh.
These tasks are a little bit basic.
Yeah.
A lot basic.
I was like, oh, well, maybe the printing press one will be hard. And then they showed what they had to like do. And it was like four lines of a paragraph. I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
and not even with like letters that are like maybe confusing back and forth and stuff like that. Like it seemed quite simple.
Yeah, it was all in English, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Like I'm remembering like on Amazing Race US, they're like going to like the Middle East and doing it in like non-English, like around, like
actually even in French it would be good because then you'd have to put the accent the proper way and stuff like that. Like it was very simple and which one would we have chosen?
I wouldn't have had I probably would have said, what do you want to do today? What do you feel like doing? Because I would have been fine with either. Maybe off the top of my head, maybe the printing press, but I don't know. Yeah,
I think maybe printing press because it seemed like everybody else was doing the bath bombs, and I don't know if it's best to be at the place where everybody's bunched up.
Everybody is, yeah.
So I'd probably want to do the printing press because, I just wouldn't be like, let's get in and out.
I don't think that we would have struggled on either.
I don't think so either. Like reading a recipe and it's easy. It's like 1 cup of baking soda. Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty much everyone except Deshawn makes it to the board, but Beverly and Veronica, when they get there, have to wait. There's definitely a bit of drama, though, when Beverly and Veronica do arrive at the detour, because Franca and Nella are still at the detour, so they were able to catch up enough. And so Franca and Nella were like, oh, like we had to do it. Like, you guys are so strong. You guys are so fast. And they're just like getting into their bathtub to like, do the task. But it was just like, I don't know. It was just petty in a way that I didn't care for.
Wasn't this was the same episode? Doesn't like at the birdhouses, the girls work together, and doesn't Craig? He's like off to the side, and doesn't he say, "Oh, we like you"? And doesn't he like say Victoria or something? And she's like, "My name's Veronica."
Right? No, I don't know if it was there when he miscalls her name, but he does do that at one point. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it is there actually. Because so he apologizes for Catherine not giving her help, like because like Catherine was doing the task, and I think they were on the sidelines, and Beverly wanted help from Catherine, and Catherine was like covering her board or whatever, and so then Craig apologizes to what's her real name? Victoria.
Veronica's her real name, but he says Victoria, I think. Yeah. So, yeah. Jeez.
And so, okay, so this is a good question. Hi, Sophie. Sophie wants to know if we're going to cover Amazing Race USA. It starts in September, I think, 21st.
I saw that was coming. I'm sure Reality Realness will be doing this, won't they?
I mean, Reality Realness and Phil or no Phil? That is the real question.
That mystery. We'll find out.
Okay.
Of course.
No problem. So wait, so one of the teammates has to give the directions on how to make these bath bombs from the bath. I don't know why they needed to do that, but I guess just to see people sitting in a bath was the gimmick.
Yeah.
That's the gag.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened there. I said, wow, Jesse and Marika got the printing press really quickly. Okay. And then they are going to be going to a sign language school that's been open for 150 years. And so they're going to be going to Sandbanks Provincial Park. So Jesse and Marika are first. The printing press seems like it was the task to do because they got in and out. And I think that I don't think they were in the front of the pack when they got to the Detour. I think they were in the back or closer to like maybe middle. They weren't at first, I don't think. I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't remember. Yeah.
So Franca and Nella arrive at the language school and they decide to use their express pass. Now, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to sign. Oh, did I not write the guy's name down? Whoops. They have to sign. Was it Samuel Green?
Samuel Green was
that enacted the school. Yes. For deaf students. And so basically one partner has to learn the alphabet and the other person has to learn how to spell the alphabet sign the alphabet, and then they have to sign it to their partner, and the partner has to write it down and show it to the judge.
I actually thought this was a great task.
It's great. It's easy.
This is a great task. I mean, it does test people. It is a different language to learn how to do it if you don't know. It was a feel-good one. I was shocked that the producers of the show would make that the last task of the leg that you had to use this for, because it felt weird watching people use the express pass at that thing in front of these people who, it was important for them to have the teams do this task, I think, kind of like, I don't know, it just feels like it was, and it was
it's like they wanted to have some exposure on the school and American Sign Language and using this form of communication, and then people are like, I'm gonna skip this task.
I don't want to do this. And it's like, well, okay, but these people do this because that's how they communicate. So I don't know, it just felt kind of like a bad choice of, like, maybe they should have done that task earlier in the leg or something. I don't know, I might be way off on that, but I just sort of was kind of getting a vibe like it was kind of crummy.
I totally feel what you're saying. I was shocked that they would use it on this task, just like, even because I felt it was so easy. So do you know American Sign Language?
I learned it. I haven't done it since probably high school, so I do remember most of the letters. But yeah, I mean, the chart was there. So the thing actually is, the person who knows the letters is the person that probably you want guessing what the person's doing with their hand.
Exactly.
So as long as one person sort of knows it, you're pretty good.
Well, we would be fine then, because I do know sign language. So perfect. I definitely know the alphabet. So would I be on the guessing or would I be on the signing? Probably the guessing.
Yeah, I would think then you'd be on the guessing, go over to the sign, get a little quick refresher while I learn how to do the actual hand positions. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a very easy task. And I was very surprised that not all teams knew how to sign. Like, at least their name or had experience
their
with
name.
it.
Yeah. And I don't know. I guess you had to use the express pass at this point if you hadn't used it. And I mean, that again goes to show that this has been kind of a very easy race. They haven't had many times where it's like, oh, I need to panic and use my express pass. So
definitely. So, oh my God, are we already at the pit stop?
Yeah, this leg was like, yeah. Besides the drama with Beverly and Veronica, I don't know. It was kind of a weird episode. So
Jesse and Marika, they do know sign language decently, so they're able to get through this task pretty seamlessly. So they're going to be first at the pit stop. They win a trip for 2 to Geneva, Switzerland, and $2,500 in Marshall money.
Nice.
Frank and Nella is second. Craig and Catherine end up being third. They also know sign language. I thought it was very interesting. I believe it was when they were on Broadway. They had some shows where they did sign some shows, so they have learned a little bit of sign language. I thought that was cool. Brendan and Connor also use their express pass. It's like awkward. And Jameek and Cassie are still at the bath bombs. Jameek doesn't seem to know how to measure these easily. Was it harder than we thought?
So, did they explain why he did that and she didn't? Like, like because that wasn't a
Maybe,
roadblock, and
I don't know.
I felt like she would have been maybe better at doing that. I don't know.
Maybe he does the cooking in the house or something.
Maybe.
But I was just like, why are you still there? Like, it doesn't, I mean, I could be wrong. I thought that maybe if they had to like change like the metrics, you know, from one type of metric to another, and like, you know what I mean? Like that could be, do some calculations, that could be challenging, but it seemed basic. I don't know. But he was there. They were there till last. So we learned that Beverly and Veronica Beverly learned sign language in middle school. Actually, when I learned sign language, I was probably maybe 7 or 8, because my mom's friend was deaf, and so I learned sign language then. Okay. And so I just still remember, like I definitely remember the alphabet, but I remember also, this is happy, I believe. This is I'm sorry. Those are the only two that come off the top of my head.
Thank you. I remember. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Or thank you.
There's like obviously things would start coming back to me if I start seeing stuff, but like those are the things that I remember right now, and then obviously the alphabet for sure. So Court and Allie are having a lot of trouble with the sign language task. I was very shocked just because I it's something that I knew already. So like I just assumed that everybody kind of has an idea. I didn't even really think that people wouldn't have had a little bit of exposure to sign language.
Yeah, I kind of wish that that was a sort of a mandatory thing in school to learn.
Right? It seems like it should be.
Yeah.
I remember I served a table, I believe at that same restaurant that I'm talking about. I think it was at Patria, and there was a deaf patron, and I assigned to them a little bit, and they were like so like floored, happy that like somebody that just was able to sign to them. And so I don't know, it was a nice feeling just to be able to be like, hi, my name is Chantele, you know. And like it was sweet. Like they really appreciated it. So I agree with you. I think that it should be something learned in middle school. So Cedric and Tishawn show up. I believe Cedric said that he knew sign language. Did he? And finally, Cassie and Jameek.
That team did know it. Yeah.
So. No, his dad wasn't good at it though. What was it? What was happening? I didn't write it down. It was too long ago now, and I don't remember. Well, no matter what, Craig and Catherine, they do get to the pit stop in 3rd place. Connor and Brendan, obviously using the express pass, they're in 4th place. And then 5th place is Beverly and Veronica. And at this point, I wrote, I think that I'm rooting for Cassie and Jameek to stay in the game over to Sean and Court and Allie. I don't know. I was rooting for I don't know why.
I was too. I don't know. I think it's because of all the teams, they've actually seemed to be the most underdog, completely isolated. We haven't, maybe because they've always been a little bit towards the back, we haven't seen them really connecting with the other teams. So I don't know. And they had good energy. Like, I mean, I wasn't overly upset with the teams that go in this double elimination, but you know, I would have preferred, I don't know. I want more from Court and Allie. They're just, and I know that he listens sometimes, and that's wonderful. And I'm hopeful that we get to know more about them because I don't know. I just felt like their energy seems to be a little bit lacking on the last couple legs.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I think maybe coming back and getting back into maybe the momentum of the race. Yeah, it could be a little bit challenging. Maybe also, you know, we did hear that they were willing to give up their spot in the race for Catherine and Craig. And so maybe that's also something that's weighing on them, that they don't necessarily want to take them out. And so maybe their fight is gone a little bit because of, you know, wanting the desire of having their friends do well in the race. So that could be also why that they're not as like go, because if they go, it might knock out Catherine and Craig. And I don't think they want to do that.
Right.
that's my thought about it. But Court and Allie were the final team to arrive, and that means Tashawn and Cedric and Cassie and Jameek are out of this race for
Double
real.
elimination. They're
For
gone.
realsies. So let's go on to today's episode. I meant to go back to the beginning and watch the start times, but I didn't. But I think the second person to leave was Fernella. They left at 1:19 p.m. And then the other team that I saw leave was Court and Allie, was at 2:05 p.m. And so it shows that it's around an hour, 45 minutes to an hour between all the teams ish. So they're going from Bellevue to Ottawa, and they have to go find their all electric Chevrolet. And I'm like, this episode, I don't know if it's because I'm tired and I'm a little bit grouchy, but like I was just like annoyed every time I heard any sort of product placement. I was just like,
and it's all throughout it, and then also through the commercials.
Like, it's really annoying. I'm sick of his voice and commercials. I'm sorry, John. Yeah. I'm sorry, John. Yeah. I don't care about Desjardins anymore. I don't care about Subway. I don't care about Expedia. I don't care about Chevrolet. I don't care about this Chateau. No. I don't care. I don't care about any of them.
No, I mean, come on. Like, we don't have Phil in the States doing this to everything. Like, I get it. We need the money because we're from Canada and we have to get these companies to do it. But like, just put like an ad on the bottom. Like, I'm getting tired of like having to watch all of this and just be having this forced down our throats. I don't think people buy that much off of the TV, off of Amazing Race. Like, I'm not going out to buy Guru. I'm sorry.
I did see Guru in the store the other day, and I was like, should I give it a try? And when I was talking to Dan Heaton a couple weeks ago, he said that he did try it, and he said he didn't mind it. Yes.
Oh, there you go. All right.
I have had it
Maybe
before
I will.
In the past. I do like it better than Red Bull, personally. It's not as like sweet. It's a little bit more, I feel like it tastes like a Flintstone vitamin. So that's kind of the flavor of it. It's a little bit kind of tart and vitamin-y, you know? Yeah, like vitamin-y. I don't know. So they're going to be going to drive their all-electric Chevrolet to the Canadian History Museum that's in Gatineau, Quebec. And they got to use their Expedia app for the museum and to book their tickets to the museum. I'm just like,
that was like, what's really like, we didn't used to watch them go to the like ticket office to buy their ticket for going into a museum. Like, we don't need to know this.
I was very irritated, and I was like, man, you're making Canada look bad. Like, come on. Like, I know we don't have that much money, but like, it's just it's so exhausting, especially in the day and age where we don't watch that many commercials anymore. Like, there's a lot of streaming services, and you can choose to pay to not have commercials. And this is proving why we do that, because it really gets exhausting hearing all the product placement.
And I mean, Australia's not doing that. Like, I mean, as much as we keep saying the States doesn't do it, Australia doesn't do this. Like, they don't put like this down your throat. They like, I don't know. Okay, one thing that I found very interesting was at the beginning, why was Catherine and Craig, when they opened the clue, they were like, shh, 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 to Brendan and Connor, but then helping Brendan and Connor get directions to go to the first, like how to get to the first place. I was like, why are you shushing? And then
I might have missed it because I did like the app was like driving me insane because I was trying to use Bell. So this is not going to be a good ad for Bell right now, but like I bought Bell to be able to use their feature that's like any place, anywhere, watch TV. Right. And so it hasn't been working lately for other shows. And so I was assuming that it wasn't going to work for The Amazing Race. It's saying like, you can only watch the show at home. And like, I'm not at home. And so it was saying that for Big Brother. It was saying that for the challenge. So I just assumed it was just going to say that for the Amazing Race. And so I was then trying to watch it on the CTV app, but I think you were using the CTV app, and so I had it on my, it's okay, no, it's perfect, it's fine, it's exactly what it's meant to be to be used for. But I had it on my phone, and then I was like trying to get it on my computer so that I could put it on the TV, because I couldn't stream it from my phone to the TV. And so then I stopped it from my phone, and like I went to my computer. Like, it was just that was happening in the beginning, and I was like,
oh no,
I didn't know that I could have maybe troubleshot this beforehand. And so I missed the beginning. It's basically that long-winded story means.
Oh, okay.
So long-winded story, I missed the beginning. I don't remember seeing that. So
well, yeah, you didn't miss much though, because you go, yeah, they go to the museum. There wasn't really a lot said, except for
was the shish when they we're at the Chevrolet? Like,
no, when they opened the clue, when they right at the very beginning, they opened the clue, and she was like, shh. But they also talked a little bit about their alliance of three, which is interesting because when they were off for COVID, Frank and Nella were sort of in another alliance of three, but that alliance of three just seems to have dissolved without any really discussing of it dissolving.
Yeah, that alliance of three was the boys, Franca, Nella, and Jesse and Marika, correct? The express passers. I think that's done. I think that
I mean, and which it should be, because I mean now, I mean, you use the boys to get the express passes. There's no more express passes. Get rid of the boys. They've been doing very well, so get rid of them.
So at this museum, they have 13 stamps, but the stamps do not have a cost on it. So they have to run or speed walk through the museum. I did find that funny, them all speed walking, and find their tiny stamps and the price on it, and then go and fill their board. What do you think of this as a task?
I loved it. I thought this was a good task just because, you know,
a little bit of a needle in the haystack, but also
it's a history thing. But also, I love that it was there was so many, like, you had to go in there and look at all the things. I found it strange that the teams that have been working together so much. I mean, this was a task to really work with another team. Like, you guys take the top ones, we'll take the bottom ones. Like, I mean, I don't know why that wasn't happening and why Frank and Nella. I don't know. It seems weird.
They had a system, so maybe like they were like they wanted to do like, let's just do all the beavers first. So let's just find these 3 beaver ones, and then let's find these 3 boat ones. And I think that organizing how to make it work for the system that they had already established, I think is what the issue was. Because they kept on saying like, oh, we already have our system. Like, we already have our like what we're doing down. And so I think it made sense as to them coming in being like, okay, let's change up the system so we can work together. It's like, well, we already have a plan, and like how we're planning on doing this, like to change it now to work with you. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be faster, and I think that they would be kicking themselves if it wasn't. So I think they're trying to shake the team
alliances.
Yeah, they're trying to like be like, you know what? I think I want to do this on my own because you guys aren't really helping us. We're kind of helping you.
Which, hey, if that's the case, then good on them. That's a smart decision to make. So, yeah. I mean, you're at 6. We're at 6 teams. It's time to do your thing.
Mm-hmm. So Greg does try a second time to work with Fernella, and they're just like, oh, we already have a system going. And it's like, it was actually kind of awkward, in my opinion. But Franca and
That's
Nella,
a little needy.
Yeah, I was just like, okay. They said no. Frank and Nella do leave there first. Jesse and Marika leave second. Onto the roadblock. So who wants to be put on the spot? Me or you?
I can do that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
So what they're going to be doing is going into one of these propeller planes, and they're going to be looking for the letter M from the air. So pretty simple. Is anybody afraid of heights? And if they are afraid of heights, would this scare them? I don't even think so.
No, if you're afraid of planes, maybe.
Maybe small propeller planes might be scary to some people. I've been on a couple before.
That, or you have really bad eyesight. Maybe like you look.
I mean, the angle that they showed the M wasn't very obvious, but that just could be the angle that the camera person took, but
Right,
I don't know.
right. It might have been difficult for the camera to get a picture of it because they did say it was a big M, and when they kept showing it on the screen, I was like, "Can we see it like look big at least once?"
Yeah, did not look big at all. I do feel bad though. The boys are leaving in last place here. How did they fall so far to the back?
Yeah, I mean, they were arrived last. Like I mean, they arrived last to the stamp task and
Yeah,
left that. Like, yeah,
they
they
didn't
weren't
show
having a
it
good
though.
leg, but they there was something about it that like I think we talked about at the beginning. Like, they never seemed upset that they seemed to be in last the whole leg, which was so weird. Like, I don't know.
I
I
don't
feel
know
like they
either.
knew that it was a non-elim. I feel like all the teams sort of knew. They were all just so chill this leg.
Yeah, I have no idea. Or maybe they know how many more legs they're supposed to have or something. And so they
Maybe,
can
yeah,
deduce that this might not be, I don't know. I'm not sure why they didn't have any hustle, but that's what I hated about the beginning of this race was there's nobody had any hustle. I'm like, come
yeah.
on, guys, hustle.
Also,
Um, so they were the last place in getting the fights because they had to go and run to this fight thing and like pick these tickets or cards that had like first fight, second fight, third fight, fourth fight. So
yeah,
they were last at getting their flight. But Craig helped Court and Allie. And this was the beginning where Craig was starting to bug me a little bit with like his obvious helping and like I get it. I think it's really lovely that you want to do right by your friend and make sure that she's able to run this whole race. But it just started to bug me that like all of a sudden people can't run their own race now because like
yeah,
you're helping them and then now you're gonna expect them to have some help back and like I don't know. It just started to irk me.
yeah. I mean, it's helpful for you to have an alliance in the race, but like for a viewer to watch, and it's just constantly teams helping each other, and I don't know. That's why I'm kind of liking these individual teams that are running the race this time.
Yeah.
They're doing their own thing, and I'm cheering for them for it. So
So the first three teams found the letter M. So that's Franca, Nella, Jesse, and Marika, and Beverly and Veronica. And they're going to be going over to do a face off. So they're going to Montebello, Quebec, to the Hotel Chateau Montebello, which is right
woo!
there. We both we should like get points when we both choose the
When we
same.
match,
Yeah, when we match. Like it's a match game. So we
I
match.
almost did croquet, but that would have taken place there. So maybe that.
Oh, I mean, but we kind of got the same memo. We just chose a different photo,
Yeah.
and different time of day. So yes, they're gonna be croquet. Anyone? How are you at croquet?
I'm good at croquet. Sort of like
You're
miniature golf
croquet.
in some ways. I'm croquet at croquet. Yeah, no, I definitely I've played it lots of times, so yeah, it's fun.
I've never played croquet, but
Oh,
it seems easy enough.
yeah,
It's a
it's
bit of a
not.
learning curve, but I think it seems easy. So basically, they're going to be facing off two teams at a time. The last team that loses is going to have to wait out a 15-minute penalty. How is this for you? I mean, it was fine. They had to dress up, so I like dressing up.
Um, the only excitement I had was hopeful that we would see Beverly and Veronica go against Nella and Franca. That was my
Yep.
that was
Yep.
my hope, and
You
we
got
did. Yeah,
it.
so that was nice.
Well, the first
Um,
face off was Jesse and Marika versus Beverly and Veronica because Franca and Nella, they fall from grace here. And I'm wondering
yeah,
if it's a little bit of some karma's coming back for them a
yeah,
little bit just because they've been doing so well, but then they've also been a little bit unsavory, in my opinion, to Beverly and Veronica unnecessarily. And they went the wrong direction for like 40 minutes. So they ended up coming and being, I think, fourth in the end, correct? Or was it third?
fourth. They arrived fourth. Yeah, because Catherine and
Craig
Craig
and
got in there
right.
before as well. Yeah,
So
yeah, a little bit of karma. I think they kind of deserted. I don't know. This whole episode, they were kind of I found them snarky this episode, Frank and Noah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just kept like making comments, but it was more, you kind of got like a more of a villain's edit from them this episode
Agreed.
than the past ones, where it was more like they were in the like hero spotlight, like, oh, they're doing so great, and then it was like Beverly and Veronica were seen as like annoying. Now it's kind of turning a little bit. So
I'm rooting for them now. Beverly and Veronica, the team I'm rooting for now. I think the
wow.
most. I think the most. So the first face off is Jesse and Marika, and Jesse and Marika win, correct?
Yeah, they do
Against
very
Beverly and
well.
Veronica. And so Catherine felt bad for Fernella in her confessional, and Craig's like, "Don't feel bad for them. They didn't help us." And she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, oh, yeah, right. It was a little awkward.
Yeah.
But so Jesse and Marika are out of there, and they're gonna have to do J'accuse. Basically what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to go to different people in a small town that are only speaking French and find out who done it. I thought this was pretty fun. 6 different witnesses, French clues. They were speaking very clearly. I mean, I might not remember all the words, but like we'd probably figure them out pretty quickly. And it seems like
if we were together, Chantele, I would be just sitting there hugging you, going, "Go, Chantele!" You know what they're saying.
I mean, pretty for the most part, I knew what they're saying. Like, I think there's like one, maybe it was, I wouldn't remember which is boulangerie. Is that like a baker? I can't like, it was like those two that like I couldn't remember which was which, but we would have figured it out eventually. But you know what I mean? Like fromagerie, like the wine person, like it was all pretty simple. Other than that, and the difference was sometimes they say it avant or après. And so it's like before or after. And so that would be the only other thing that would be, you'd have to listen very carefully. But basically what I would do is I would write out exactly what they said and put them in order in French and then translate them. I think is what I would do. But it was easy, I thought. So I thought it was funny, though, that Catherine and Craig, I wrote, Catherine and Craig had to face Fernella for the face-off. So,
yeah, and they lost. So they were the team that lost twice, Catherine and Craig.
Well, Fernella apparently plays golf, and so they were decent at croquet.
That's not surprising. Yeah.
So Fernella passes them. And Jesse and Marika speak French, so they actually didn't really have that much trouble. We see Beverly and Veronica asking for help by one of the other townspeople. So I was like, oh, if you could even ask for help, like even easier. Even easier. So we learned that the chef is the murderer.
And the chef holding the knife that was like really big. Like, I mean, this was like a clue in itself.
It's like dripping blood. It's like
it should have just had blood all over.
Yeah. Or like just pointing at it's me. And they're going to be going to the pit stop. So in first place, we have Jesse and Marika. They win a trip to Istanbul and $2,000 to Marshall's. They're going to have like a $10,000 wardrobe to Marshall's. Okay. Second place is Beverly and Veronica. I was happy about that because I'm like, if you're second place now, you still have room to get to first place. I think that they're in a good position. Right now, I like them and Jesse and Marika. Third place was Franca and Nella. Fourth place was Craig and Catherine. Fifth was Court and Allie. And sixth place was the boys. So they all did the whodunit task. And at the end of it, though, Court and Allie and the boys were kind of in a foot race. And they both were debating whether or not to bring their backpack. Isn't it a rule that you have to bring your backpack to like 5 feet from the mat? Like they have to be very close to the mat.
Yeah, the last I had heard was the host has to visibly be able to see your backpack from the mat. That was the last I had heard. Like that was the rule. So
So the fact that I'm like, oh my God, is Brendan and Connor going to get eliminated for the fact that they didn't bring their backpack? And maybe that's why there was a little bit of debate with your thought process, with them thinking that, oh, maybe they knew it was a non-elimination. So if they didn't bring their backpack, maybe then they would be able to beat them in a foot race and then not have to do the speed bump next round. So maybe that's what was happening.
That's what was happening. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It was just really weird that both those teams were like, should we bring our backpack? It's like, yeah, you should. It's like, you always should. And so Court and
like,
Allie.
Even wouldn't you agree, though, even like when they were like, both those last two teams were like getting help, it wasn't the same as when you're getting help and you think that you're in last. And like, you're like it was just sort of like
chill mode. How
do you get there? Like, okay.
I did like that Catherine and Craig, their only French knowledge was from ballet terms. And so as a ballet person, I totally understand, some French words because of that, which is kind of fun. Like fouetter is like whipped. Those are fouetter turns. Anyways, it's kind of fun sometimes when you realize the word and then what it actually means, which is kind of cool. But it didn't really help them. They said they might have they wouldn't know, like maybe devant, derrière, but they said, but their French knowledge didn't help them at all. So that was it for the episode. We were able to do 2 episodes in 45 minutes. Like, that's wild.
Yeah, not surprising. Like, I mean, they were good episodes. I mean, we did this in 45 minutes, and there was a double elimination episode too. So, I mean, it's just maybe we're gonna get some big tasks at the end. We're hungry for some good big tasks. Because I think the only really big physical task they've had is those bikes, those where they had to sitting down bikes that they had to do. Yeah, I think we're ready, or something really
challenging,
death-defying, challenging. Yeah, I don't know. I hope so.
I hope so too. I mean, I'm enjoying it just for the sheer ease of watch that, it's easy to watch. I like the people in the episode, like the contestants, but I think the production value is kind of lacking, and it's a little bit, I would give it like maybe a 6 out of 10 so far.
I mean, compared to the first 2 episodes of the Australian one, because they're going to other countries, so that, I mean, I like that they stay in Canada sometimes, but I don't know, like it just feels like the challenges are on the Australian one a little bit more amped up and back to sort of what Amazing Race sort of is like. So yeah,
we'll see. Well, maybe we should go on the next season so that we get like an easy race to run. or we suck and be like, oh, maybe it's harder than we actually thought it was.
They'll be like, if they see any of these videos, they'll be like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna make this hard for them only.
Make sure you block them, make sure you pass them, make sure you face off them and make them lose. Well, that's pretty much it for the episodes. Is there anything that you would like to talk about that we forgot about or we missed?
Well, no, I mean, I did put together a little game for you.
You did? Okay, go on. Perfect.
Well, but I know that you're. I don't know if you're ready for this. This is so this is, you were worried that this was coming at some point. So it was an Amazing Race Canada quiz.
Oh shit. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now, if you have people listening along, they can comment along if they can guess as they want. But I don't know who's on right now. But here we go. When did the Amazing Race Canada premiere? What year?
2014. No, 2012.
2013.
Ah!
Do you remember what the prizes for season 1 were? For the win, for the win, the big win at the end, if you won.
$200,000, 250,000 and a car of some sort, and maybe a trip around the world.
It was $250,000, 2 Chevrolet Corvette Stingrays.
Okay, I would never remember Stingrays.
And 1 year of unlimited travel from Air Canada around
I kind of got that. That's kind of right. Okay.
Yep. Very good. What are the prizes for this season?
Subway. No, just kidding. This season
for the big win. What's the big?
It's $250,000. I do believe it's at least one of those Chevrolets. Yeah. And like a gas card.
No, it's it's another sort of around the world trip, but it's a round the world trip done by Guru to select locations. So Guru, I think, has picked the
I was going to
locations
say something like that, but I wasn't sure. I was like, but Guru's not I was like, is Expedia? But anyways, okay, I almost got that.
Where did we talked about this a while ago? Where did the first Amazing Race start? Amazing Race Canada. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, was it Vancouver, BC?
It was Niagara Falls.
Was it? Oh, maybe you did tell me this. That you like, oh, you saw this, or you could have seen the starting line if you wanted to, or something. Okay, yeah, you're right.
And where did it end? The first season.
Phil, these are things I would never ever remember unless I studied.
I'll give you a clue. It's very appropriate for me and you. If it started in Niagara Falls and it ended in
Toronto. Okay, ended in Toronto.
Where was the first non-Canadian country Amazing Race Canada visited in season 2? The first one that they've ever went to.
I don't remember. Spain.
They went to Hong Kong, China.
Oh, or China. Close.
How many teams have raced twice on Amazing Race Canada?
I'm going to say 3 teams.
Just the one. Jet and Dave.
Really? I was expecting there just to be more, but okay, I only knew one, but
yeah, Jet and Dave came back, but they were eliminated first.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
There's more this season.
they got voted in to race again by Canada. Right. Do you remember the 2 teams they were up against?
Absolutely not.
Brent and Sean and Frankie and Amy.
I don't even remember who those people are right now.
Okay, in Amazing Race Canada, they revealed a twist to the game in season 6. No, season 7. Season 7. It was called the One Way. What was it?
What would a one way be? That they maybe have to choose a specific task and they couldn't change it? I don't know.
One team got to pick which detour option another team had to do.
That's pretty good. That's actually a decent.
I like that one. I like that one. My one, I always wanted the one way to be the teams got to pick who did the roadblock from another team.
That's great. That'd be great.
How
that caused drama. I would love Beverly and Veronica to do that to like Franca and Nella, you know?
Right? That would be awesome. Really, like, because you know what that does? That also like gets like into your head because you're like, oh, I'm seen as the weakest on my team. So like you start freaking out about that. So how has the distribution been for winners between male teams, female teams, male teams?
I'm gonna say
past 7 seasons because this is.
I'm gonna
season 8.
say 2 male. No, I'm going to say 3 male, 3 male, female, and 1 female.
There has been 5 male, 1 male, 1 female.
Oh, wow. I was really thinking that the male-female team would be decent, but see, male teams always win. That's true.
Let's hope it's either a male-female or a female-female team this time.
Yeah.
All right.
Even though I was happy that Brandon and Connor didn't leave. I didn't want them to go out that way.
No, because it didn't feel like, who were the first winners? So season 1, and what historic, amazing race? What would you call that? Amazing race record, I guess you would say. Did they do to when they won? What did they break?
Maybe the most first place wins. And was it the doctor and her husband from Montreal?
Tim Sr. and Tim Jr.
Oh, I don't even remember them.
And they were the first team to overcome 2 speed bumps and still win.
Okay. Would never have known that. Yeah.
Only a couple more questions. We're having fun. This is exciting. Okay. So season 5 celebrated Canada's 150th anniversary. What was the theme for season 6?
I don't know.
They were all casted based on this.
Oh, they were heroes?
Trait.
Were they heroes?
They were heroes. Good job. Trina and Trinell were the first team eliminated in Amazing Race Canada history. What was their relationship?
What was their name again?
Trina. I think I've got Trina and Trinell, but for some reason I think it might be Trina and no, I think it might
I don't know.
Trina.
They're sisters. I don't know. I have no idea.
They're twin sisters. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Which season 1 team, known for their upbeat and sometimes cheesy attitude, was upset that they were shown swearing through frustration during a task?
Zero idea.
Body Break.
That was season 1? Wow.
That was season 1. Yes. Joanne and Hal and Joanne.
I feel like it was like another season, but like, yeah, I guess they were season 1. Hilarious.
All right. And last one. Name the 2 seasons Amazing Race USA went to Canada.
Phil, you're so rude. Like, I have no idea. Do they know
5.
Canada exists? Like,
season 5, they go to Calgary, and season 8, the family edition, goes to Niagara Falls, and they go to Montreal, Toronto, and Niagara Falls.
Okay, well, thank you. Just kidding.
Well, that was good.
Thank you so much. I mean, those are the type of things that I would have to study because I won't remember them unless I watch the season again or read up stats on them and see pictures. I just don't remember them right now. There's, you know how many thousands of hours of TV is in my head?
I know. Right?
So I just I don't have that file at easy access. Amazing Race from like 2013. Like I don't remember what happened right now. But that was still fun. Thank you, Phil, for putting that together for us. Do you have anything going on with Good Time Games that you want to share with the people?
No, we've had some bookings, so that's good. Things are picking up that way. But if you ever want to do a games night with your friends, or you have friends and family that live across the country or around the world,
can they do an Amazing Race themed race night?
Oh, I would love that. I would love that. If you could come up with something there. Definitely. So yeah, no, reach out to us. We're on Facebook, Good Time Games with Adam and Phil.
Sweet. Well, you guys know the drill, but if you don't, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and please put in the comments as a way, how can I stump Phil? I want to stump Phil one of these next few weeks. If you have any game ideas, please send me a suggestion in the comments, or if you would like to email me at realityrealness@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram or Twitter. I'm all over the place. You can find me
everywhere.
So I'm everywhere. So let's just try to stump Phil next week if we can, or
You
the week
always
after.
do. You always stump me. Jeez.
Anyways, it's been a blast. We'll see you again next week, everyone. You can't see it, but I have my fingers here. Bye.
Ooh.